I am sort of the conservative Bob Ross. Today I'll be painting another Trump. We love Trump. For all those people that were wondering why I called myself Paint to Trump, now you know. I was so busy waving flags and I didn't have a lot of time to paint Trump. Maybe I'll make videos more often of me painting Trump and other miscellaneous conservative stuff. Now that the flag wavers are not showing up, man. Every time we do a flag wave, there's less and less people. So it could be that it's inevitable. People just stop showing up. They were all happy to show up and support Trump before the election, but now not so much. Now they're done fighting for some crazy reason. You know, if you're gonna fight for what you believe in, you should always fight for what you believe in. How you doing? Hey, how's it going? Just because you don't win doesn't mean you gotta quit. That doesn't make any sense, does it? It's gonna be hard to win if you can quit that easy. I think I drew this Trump up probably a year ago. I just never had time to paint them. I always draw them up first and then paint them. Yeah, so maybe I could be the conservative Bob Ross. Bob Ross is dead and he's got 5 million followers on YouTube. So I think what I'll probably do is open up maybe an Etsy account or something. Or a website where I can sell the art. I'll do these paintings, make videos while we talk about conservative stuff. And then when I'm done painting it, I'll sell it. How's that sound? The only problem with doing a hand-painted one like this is I only have one to sell. So when I do stencil paintings, I can do multiple paintings. So we'll see how this works. I figure I may as well do it while I'm still on YouTube. Because once I get kicked off YouTube, man, there goes my whole audience, pretty much. I got about 90,000 subs on YouTube and 45,000 on Facebook, but Facebook will get rid of me too, I think. Who knows though? Now that the election's over, maybe they'll let me stay. I kind of doubt it. You know, if Republicans were in charge of all the social media, like the lefties are, you gotta wonder, man, if they would do the same thing. You know, so they control all of the media sites where we converse back and forth. And that's a pretty powerful weapon to have, to be in total control of the town square. And if you had that power, would you use it? The lefties are doing it, you know. So I wonder if the Republicans, you know, they say they stand for free speech, which I believe they do, but they're being censored. So if the conservatives were in charge of the town square and they were censoring lefties would be touting that they're for freedom of speech. So I don't know, man. I think it's a culture war and you'll use every weapon at your disposal. So I gotta wonder if Republicans would do the same thing. I don't know. I'd like to think they wouldn't. You know, if the lefties' ideas were so good, why do they gotta shut us down? Because they can't argue it, you know. And if you can't argue it, you shut down the argument. And that's what's happening. You gotta let ideas play out. That's how we determine what ideas are the best ideas. And you can't do that when only one side is able to talk. One side is able to get their ideas out there. That's not good. That's actually pretty scary. Biden hasn't been in office for a week. He's already trashed the place. You know, I mean, that's what he's gonna do, man. He's gonna do the opposite of what Trump was doing. So Trump had us going completely in the right direction. So Biden is gonna have to take us in the completely wrong direction if he's gonna do the opposite. You know, he spent the whole time complaining about COVID and how Trump was handling it, and now that he's in there, he just said that we can't change the direction of where COVID's taken us. There's nothing he can do. That guy's such a bullshitter, you know. The lefties said Trump lied about everything, but I didn't see it that way. I think Trump couldn't help but tell us exactly what was going on because he wanted us to know. He wanted us to know what he was up against. You know? And I think he did a really good job of that. Trump didn't get us into any wars. Biden right away is going to make us dependent on foreign oil. And he canceled that Keystone pipeline, pissed off Canada. Canada wants to put sanctions on the U.S. now. That's how pissed off they are at us, at Biden. You know, Biden, I think his first day in office, he killed like 20,000 jobs in the oil industry. He said he wasn't for getting rid of fracking, but he lied. So he's going to make us completely dependent. We were energy independent. We had become, under Trump, we'd become the #1 producer of oil in the world. And Biden's going to make us buy all of our oil now from the Middle East again, which is going to stir up a bunch of wars and shit like that. So, you know, how many people around the globe are going to die because Biden's in there pushing that military-industrial complex? A lot, I'll tell you that. A lot of people are going to probably die now. Yeah, with all of the shit going on in the world right now, one of Biden's first executive orders was to make sure men can compete in women's sports. That's how important that was for Biden. He ruined women's sports. You know, I don't know if he ruined it because I generally don't watch women's sports, but if men are going to be in there kicking the shit out of women, I might want to watch that. You know, I think it'll be hilarious. Think about Biden being in there, man. It's you got to look at the. I mean, it's hard to look at the positive side of it, but there are going to be some positive sides of it, because he's going to implement all the lefty ideas, and they're going to go haywire. Shit don't work, so, you know, and the world can see it. Our media here won't criticize any of it; they'll defend it. But that they'll just show the hypocrisy of the media. The world already knows we got a crooked media over here. You can't deny it. You can't hide it. They demonize Trump 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year long, the whole time Trump was in there. And what are they going to do with Biden as he screws everything up? They're going to defend him. They're going to shill for Biden the whole time. It's sickening. That's why people are flocking to YouTube and alternative sources to find their media, because their media's blowing smoke up their ass and everybody knows it. So I draw up my images in a stencil style, a street art style in layers. This is the first layer. I use house paint. I don't usually paint on canvas. I usually paint on wood, and I use house paint because that's the cheapest way to do it, and it holds up. So the Biden administration will be pushing that, you know, dividing people up based on gender, you know what I mean? Identity politics is a divisive way to govern. So they want unity, but nothing about them is gonna unify everybody. So they can keep saying that they want to unify, they want unity, but nothing that they're gonna do is gonna unify anybody. It's just gonna keep getting worse. I think people that are super political, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are very hateful, and it's only going to get worse. I think after Biden's in there for 4 years, if he makes it that long, I think we'll be even more divided than when we were when Trump was in there. And obviously, the only reason we were divided is because the media lied about Trump nonstop. You know, Biden basically ran on Trump as a white supremacist. Everything about what they say about Trump has been a lie. But people watch CNN and believe everything they hear. Wow, it's bright. I'm going to have to scooch my ass back in the garage. If this idea works out, and I can paint something, make a video, pop it up on a website and sell it, I'll do more of these. I should have been doing this a long time ago, actually. No doubt about it. That sun is too bright. I gotta scooch this back here. There you go. Yeah, it's gonna be funny to watch how Biden handles the Black Lives Matter people and the Antifa people. You know, they created those people. You know, they needed them to sow chaos. You know what I mean? And try to make it look like the people were upset with Trump and they're going to revolt. You know, they had these riots and everything. You know, the fake narrative that police are shooting unarmed black men, that's just a joke. The only problem with that, I say it's a joke, but it's serious because that's the tactic of the lefties. You know what I mean? And it worked pretty good. So they're going to use it again and again and again. They have been for a while. It's their go-to move. So every 4 years, the media is going to highlight some black dude that tried to stab a cop or shoot a cop or resist arrest and go for a weapon, and the guy will get shot, and then everybody will riot all over again, and people will get killed, and billions of dollars in damage will happen, and you know, and it's all a lie. The media has a way of whipping people into a frenzy, and they create their own narrative, and people fall for it. But it's going to be kind of fun to watch Biden try to handle these people because they created them, and now that he's in office, he doesn't need them anymore. He doesn't want them out there sowing chaos. Look at Portland, man. They pretty much were out there, you know, vandalizing stuff, and I don't know if it turned into a riot, but man, they're burning down shit, and they're chanting that you know, they don't want Biden either. So they let that genie out of the bottle, and it's going to be hard to put him back in there. So it's going to be fun to watch how he handles that. Okay, this is what the second layer looks like. Layer number 2. So Biden, in less than a week, has already done some pretty devastating things, right? I live in Florida, man, and I think this is all around the country. Gas prices have already gone up like 30 cents a gallon. So I think it's the oil industry not expecting Biden to do anything good, and it's driven up gas prices. You know what I mean? I think it's going to get worse, much worse. You know, come back a year from now, and is it going to be out of the realm of possibilities for gas to be up to $4 a gallon or more? Probably not. You know what I mean? He's gone right for the throat of the oil industry, the gas and oil industry. So he's going to get rid of fracking and all that stuff, and it's going to be bad, man. And that drives up the price of everything that you buy. You know? I mean, Obama, when he was in there, was 8 years of a recession. So you got to prepare yourself for at least 4 years of a recession. You know, Biden, you know, I don't know what's going to happen because personally, I don't think Biden, I think he does have the onset of dementia, and I think his health is only going to decline. So I don't think you have to worry about Biden being in there 4 years from now, but any Democrat that takes the helm is going to push the same policies. So, you know, and if Biden doesn't make it and Kamala gets in there somehow, then you have even more problems because she's even more far left than he is. I can only imagine the kind of shit she would do. You know, Kamala is really trying to appease the lefties where Biden isn't. You know, and like I said, Biden, he doesn't, you know, he doesn't need the Antifa people or the Black Lives Matter people, so he's not going to try to appease them. Where I think she would. So not only is Biden not going to appease, I don't believe Biden's going to appease the Antifa people. I think he's also not going to try to appease the AOCs, you know, the far lefties. You know, I don't think Biden hasn't appointed any of those people into his cabinet, has he? Because he doesn't want to deal with them. You know, he wanted to use them to get the votes on that, you know, on that side. And now that he's in there, he's not going to do anything for them. So this might be one of the silver linings of Biden getting in there. He's going to have to deal with the Antifa people, Black Lives Matter people, and the AOCs and her crew. You know, Biden just might figure out a way to get rid of her. You know what I mean? Trump could never get rid of AOC or Black Lives Matter movement or Antifa. But Biden being in there, now that he doesn't need them, maybe they can figure out a way to get rid of them. They got a better chance of getting rid of them than Trump ever did. They were never going to go away under Trump. So that is a silver lining, I think. But time will tell. Layer 3. Starting to take shape now, right? Third layer. I always like to put a quote on my paintings. I'm kind of notorious for putting quotes or some kind of a comment on my paintings, so I'll have to probably do that on this one too. Democrats, they want everybody to believe that this country is racist and that white supremacy is a danger, our biggest threat. I laugh because I don't know any racist people. They say Trump supporters are racist. I don't ever see any of them out there waving flags with me. You know, white supremacy. When was the last time you saw a KKK guy? You know, I can't even remember. This isn't a racist country. You know, and you really have to be stupid to believe that crap. Joe Biden, he said he wants to help people, the American people, during this COVID crisis, but he wants to help people of color first. So that's racist. He's going to determine who he wants to help based on skin color. Anytime you do anything based on skin color, it's racist. Democrats don't know what racism is, I don't think. This country's so racist that we elected Barack Obama, a black man, to be our president. Our country's so racist that we have a vice president, you know, that's black. People like to say she's not black, she's Jamaican and something else, but she's black. I mean, I would say she's black. And if you say she's not black, you can at least say she's a person of color, right? Playing some Tool. And I can't let Facebook hear that because they throw me in jail for 30 days if they hear it. Here's the fourth layer. What do you think? I like painting Trump orange because the lefties hate it that he's orange. They don't want you judging people on skin color. That's a big no-no. But the whole time Trump's in there, they make fun of him because he's orange. He's got an orange hue to him, and that triggers them. So anytime I paint Trump, I usually paint him orange. Because when the lefties see it, man, they get triggered. So, yeah, I'm not really set up to do studio type videos. I mean, I make all my videos with a GoPro. You know, I don't use any external microphones or anything like that. I don't really have a good camera. I just kind of wing it with a GoPro. The mic on the GoPro itself works pretty good. So when I make my videos, I just have it on this little gimbal, and I have it on super wide view. And if I hold the camera close to my face, you can hear me pretty good. So it's worked well so far, but I don't think it's going to be very conducive to like a studio type setup like this. If I decide to do more videos like this, I'm not really a tech person at all. I edit all my videos on my phone because I don't know how to do it on a computer. I've tried and I don't get it. So I'd have to have somebody show me how to do it maybe. But it works, so that's why I keep doing it that way. Yeah, Trump was trying to get kids to learn positive stuff about this country because our school system just teaches them all this bullshit. You know? When I was in school, man, we were taught to love this country and feel grateful that we lived here. You know, it was part of going to school, was understanding what a great country we lived in. Everybody was patriots back then, man. Jeez. The narrative's been flipped on its head, man. How has this happened? So Trump had the 1776 Project. We have to do something to counter this negative feeling that kids are being taught about our country. And Joe Biden right away, right out of the gate, got rid of it. What does that say about Biden, where he doesn't want kids to have pride in our country? He wants you know, a whole generation of kids being taught that this country's bad and oppresses people, and that this country was built on slavery, and every country has bad history. You know what I mean? The further back you go in time, the darker the history is. And no one is immune to it. There was no perfect utopian country out there. You know? Wasn't it this country that abolished slavery and convinced all these other countries to get rid of it? There's still countries out there that deal in slavery. All right, we got 5 layers down. Looking pretty good, right? Yeah, one more layer. So I'll paint this and toss it out there on maybe a Etsy page or something I'll open up. And we'll see. I got a lot of comments about people wanting to buy some art from me, but I don't have anything set up. Which is really stupid on my part. But I'm going to set something up real soon. Something fast, something cheesy, just to see if this is a good idea, which I think it is. Put my art out there and let people buy it. You know, this one here won't be cheap. I probably only have time to maybe do one a week. Hand painted like this. You know, and then every painting I do, maybe I'll do a video when I do it. So, we'll see. I've been painting Trump for over a year now and created a lot of Trump art and haven't sold any of it because I have no way to really do it. Unless you live locally and you somehow got a hold of me and I could meet you somewhere and drop it off to you, but I haven't done too much of that either. So I think you people are finally gonna have your chance to own some original painted Trump art. This one's turned out pretty nice. So I basically, what I consider this right here is me roughing it in. I mean, I painted it quick. I can't sit here and take too much time while I'm trying to make a video. But, I mean, it looks good. But I will spend some time touching it up nice. Because, I mean, the way, when I'm looking at it, I see a lot of touch-ups I got to do. So, if you like it the way it looks now, you'll definitely like the finished product if you buy it. And it's on canvas, so, and it's a 16 by 20? Oh, I think it's bigger than that. Maybe not. It doesn't say. 16 by 20. So it's a standard size. You can go get a frame for it and it'll fit right into it. See how thick the paint is on here? I always put the paint on super thick. So this is the last layer. And then the very last thing I do is I got to paint anything white here. I'll paint that a very light shade of yellow or something. And the very last thing I do is I put a little quote on it. My art wouldn't be the same if it didn't have a quote on it. So this has to be the lightest shade of all, you know, which I think this is good. So I got a lot of people following me from different countries and stuff too, so I gotta figure out, like, if somebody from Australia wants to buy this, do I ship it to Australia? How much does that cost? Or the UK? Oh no, man. I have no idea. Like, I'm just guessing. See, I always avoid selling stuff because I hate shipping. I hate shipping stuff, man. It's a pain in the ass. But I better get used to it, I guess. So if I shipped this somewhere in the US, I can't imagine it costing more than like 30 bucks. 25 bucks, maybe? And if I had to ship it overseas, how much would it cost? 100 bucks? 200 bucks? Like, I have no idea. That's something to consider, right? Because I want to put this up for sale, and I don't want to have to calculate. I don't want to say it's this much plus shipping when I won't know how much shipping is. I think these first few paintings until I can figure it out, man. Like, you have to live in this country, I guess, in order for me to ship it to you. Sorry. For now. I'll do other paintings later, maybe, where I can figure out how to ship it overseas. Tax! I have a greyhound. He's in the house, and he doesn't like to be alone. He knows I'm out here. Everybody else is gone. And he's in there crying like a big baby. He's an 80-pound baby. Spoiled. Oh. So, like I said, I don't consider this finished. I got some touch-ups to do, quite a bit. Which, I'm not going to videotape that part of it, you know. And it'll probably take me 30, 40 minutes maybe to go over this thing real good and touch it up real nice. But for now, you can see how it looks. Pretty slick, right? That's Trump, all right. So, what I do now, next step, this is it right here, let it dry in the sun. I'm gonna let it dry real good, and then I'm gonna letter it with something. It's gotta say something, man, or it's not complete. See how thick I put the paint on there? Super thick. That's because I speed paint this stuff, man, and I put it on heavy so I can swirl it around, and plus I like the texture. Let's see Bob Ross do that. Okay, the painting is dry. I made some marks here, 9 inches, 9 inches. I'm gonna do some lettering now. What am I gonna have it say? Will it be a quote or will it be a statement? My lettering sucks, so I always use stencils. Let's see here. So without the lettering, it's just a painting of Trump, which is fine. But putting a quote or a phrase or a statement on there, sort of, that's what makes you think. You know what I mean? The letters, I think, the lettering holds the meaning. Without the letters, I guess just a painting of Trump is alright, but what's the reason for it? If I put the lettering down, you'll know what the reason is. So because my painting is somewhat sloppy, I mean, it looks good from a, 6-foot distance or whatever, I don't know. If this thing was painted perfectly, then my letters have to be perfect. And even my lettering is just a little sloppy, but it goes with the painting, So I don't have to be super, super precise. If my lettering looked perfect, then it wouldn't really match the painting. Okay. And then I gotta sign it. I got a lot of touch-up, man, to do. A lot of touch-up. I would never send a painting out to somebody that looked like this. It's gotta look good. That's how I always sign my art. I don't write my full name, I never have. I got so busy waving flags, I haven't been able to do a whole lot of art over the past 6 months or so. Alright, I'm gonna really touch this up nice. And whoever gets to own this painting, I think they will love it. I'm not gonna videotape myself touching everything up, but I will touch it up nice. So what do you think? Miss me yet? Does that make a statement or what? The longer Biden is in office, the more even the Democrats are going to miss this man. Let's see how low Biden can get unemployment down for minorities like Trump did. Biden being in there, he's going to make life just that much more miserable for everybody, including minorities. So, get what you ask for, idiots. So what do you think of the conservative Bob Ross show? What do you think, guys? I'm going to open up an Etsy account or something, because that sounds simple. Simple enough even I can figure out how to do it. And then once I have it set up, I'll let everybody know. This will be the first painting I put on there. Not sure how much I'm going to ask for it, but I'm going to shoot high with this one. Hand painted original. Paint the Trump art. So we'll see how this goes. If it goes well, we'll do more. All right. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more conservative